Does a child have the capacity to enter into a valid contract? Hello everyone, welcome to my page. So today we'll be discussing something every law student and honestly everyone should understand. Does a child have the legal capacity to enter into a contract? Now, in law, in order for a contract to be valid, the people involved must have the capacity, the legal ability to understand such agreements. Now, the law believes that a child, who is also known as a minor, does not have the capacity or the maturity to understand the consequences and the implications of entering certain contracts. Though a child can enter a contract for necessaries. Now, what are necessaries? Just like the name implies, necessaries refer to those basic things a child needs for survival. Things like clothing, shoes, food, stationaries like book, pen, those school items. These are the things a child can freely purchase in his capacity as a child. Now, necessaries differ according to the individual. A child from a wealthy background may see something as necessary, but then when it comes to a child from an average background, it becomes a luxurious item. What do I mean? A child from an average background may not easily get a dress of 50,000 naira because that child grew up getting a dress of 5,000 naira. So getting a dress of 50,000 naira may seem as luxury for that child. But then a child from a wealthy background can get a dress of 50,000 naira and you cannot classify it as a luxurious item because it's something the child grew up with. So it strictly depends on the social and economic background of the child. So in order to determine if a contract with a child is valid, the first determinant is that the contract must be a contract for necessaries. That is a contract for basic things like food. If a child goes to a shop to get a bottle of Coke, and after giving the child is like, oh, I'm not going to pay you because I'm still a minor. It doesn't happen because Coke is a necessity. But if a child enters a contract with you, let's say a 14 years old, enter a contract with you to get a house, that contract is invalid. It is not a necessity. That is a luxurious item. So in other words, a child can enter a contract for necessaries, but necessaries strictly depend on the social and economic background of that individual. If a child comes from a rich home, obviously the necessaries will be very different from that of a child that comes from an average home. Now, in a situation whereby you as an individual, an adult, enters a contract with a child, do you get your money back or do you get your item back? Well, I'll be answering this question in my next video. So do well to come back and follow us so as to get more knowledge on this situation. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.